Hi everyone. Sorry it's been a while since you last saw me. As I said in my bookshelf tour, I have had a lot of things to do, moving house and sorting my house out and, you know, all that exciting adult things that you have to do. So yes, I've been away and hopefully I am back now and I won't have too many things getting in my way. Hi, what's for today's video, Vicky? Well, I'm going to update you on videos that I made a few years ago, and that is my favourite TV shows and my favourite movies. I made these videos like 3 years ago now, so obviously a lot of new things have come out since then, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. I thought it'd be a nice little fun catch-up, chatty kind of video, so here we are. So, I'm going to do TV first. I've got 4 TV shows and I've got 7 movies. So I've put them in the order of least favourite to favourite, and so the first one is the Flash TV show, and this is based on the DC hero The Flash. It follows Barry Allen as he becomes the Flash and kind of discovers his powers and has to deal with his friends and his family while saving the city and, you know, all that normal superhero origin stuff. That's the first series, and then obviously as each series goes on he's just getting more and more used to hero life. I really loved the first series and like going on, but this latest season's been a bit all over the place and a bit of a mess, so I'm hoping that it's going to end and all make sense and wrap up quite nicely, because otherwise I'm going to be annoyed that I've even said it's one of my favourite TV shows, because I've been getting really annoyed with it recently. One of the weird things about the Flash is that it has my new least favourite TV show character of all time. If you saw my videos about True Blood, you know that I can't stand Sookie or Bill. Iris West is now worse than both Sookie and Bill. So there's a weird thing about this show. And again, it's the only TV show where it's like a serious plot. I say serious, it's still quite a fun light-hearted show, but it's like a plot that you have to follow every episode to understand what's going on. You can't just come in and out of it. But yeah, I like The Flash, at least for now. If it keeps going the way it's going, it may end up getting dumped, but for now I'm still going to say it's one of my favourite TV shows, and my favourite character is Cisco. I love him. Next one is one that Phil had the entire collection on DVD, and he wanted to watch it because he'd only seen up to a certain point, and then he decided to buy them all and then never watched it. So he wanted to watch them and he was like, I think you should watch it with me because you'll really like it. And he wasn't wrong. So that is 30 Rock. And this is a show that is the cast of The Girly Show and what happens to them working around filming the show, writing the show, and obviously it's all the, you know, the cast and crew interacting with each other, and eventually a show will be aired to the public, but obviously we don't really see much of The Girly Show itself. We get all the backstage stuff, and it's a sitcom and it is funny. It's really funny, and it's all about the dynamics between this different like sets of people. Like there's obviously the stars of the show and there's the writers of the show, and there's like the show runner, which is Tina Fey, Liz Lemon, and I love her so much. My favourite character is actually Kenneth, who is like at the absolute bottom of the line person. I can't think of the word. Is it an intern? Anyways, but yeah, he's like the person who ends up with all the worst jobs. He's my favourite character, and it's just really fun and really entertaining. And if you like Mean Girls, it's got that same sense of humour, which I found really fun. So yeah. Also, I got so into 30 Rock that I shouted at the TV without realising that was how much I was into 30 Rock, and Phil was just like, did you just shout at Liz? And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I did. I seem to be more of a fan of this than I thought I was. So yeah, it must be one of my favourite TV shows because I got that into it. And speaking of Tina Fey, the next show I'm going to talk about is The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and I love this show. This is on Netflix, so if you don't have Netflix you might not be able to watch it. But it is the story of a girl who was kidnapped and she was put into a cult, and then that was in the 90s that happened, and then in present day her and the other people are found, and she has to integrate back into like normal society, and she lives in New York City with a very camp gay roommate Titus, who I love. I love all the characters. And her landlord Lillian, who is like a really stubborn old lady and she doesn't want anything to change. My favourite character is actually Lillian. I don't know why, I just find her really entertaining in a really weird way. But Kimmy I can really relate to because she's quite childish and naive. And that sounds like I'm kind of being mean about myself, but I am quite childish and naive. And I just find her really sweet, and I find the humour in that just that little bit better than 30 Rock because of that element, because it kind of is more my personal like sense of humour and my kind of experience on life, like as trying to become an adult. Obviously she's doing it at a much older age than I did, but it still has that charm, and it's really sweet show. It's really funny and endearing, and I'm very upset that my favourite couple are not a couple anymore. That may be a spoiler, but it's a sitcom. Couples are going to come and go, so yeah. And I really hope they get back together somehow, but Phil keeps telling me it's not going to happen, so maybe he's right and I'm just delusional about it. And it also has Jenna from 30 Rock is in it. She's called Jocelyn in the show, and she's a very similar character, so if you like her in that show you'll probably like her in this show as well. And now, number one, not shockingly, I've made a video on it. I've talked about it several times in other videos, and that is RuPaul's Drag Race. This has taken over my life. This is my new all-time favourite TV show. I like nothing better than it. I've watched every series twice over the last year, other than All Stars 3 because that's just finished, and then I'm obviously watching season 10 at the moment because it's in the middle of airing. And I love it. I just love it so much. I have been to see Jinx Monsoon. She was great. It was her vaudevillain show. Really funny. Go and see it. And I am going to see Bianca in a few months. Bianca Del Rio is my favourite, so I'm very, very excited about that. And I do have tickets for Katya, but if you're a Drag Race fan you'll know that Brian, the person who is Katya, wants to take some time to be himself, and he's having a bit of a hard time mentally, and so the shows have all been kind of pushed back, and it's kind of a bit like unsure when it's going to happen. So I technically have tickets to that, but it may or may not happen. And I was supposed to see Latrice Royale, but that show got moved as well to a date that I couldn't go to anymore, so that's sad. But yeah, I love it. I love the show. If you're watching it at the moment, I pretty much like every queen apart from the one who comes out with a boy body every week and like girl face, flat boy chest. So you probably know who that is. Not a fan of them. I think they're delusional, and I don't understand why they were the one that everyone was talking about beforehand. But hey, I'm obviously controversial, and I'm so like obsessed with Drag Race to the point where my friend thinks that I'm basically the new Michelle Visage, because I will tell her how I felt about the episode and apparently I sound like I'm judging and I'm like really critical, but like yeah, I'm just really into it, and I'm a bit obsessed, and pretty much everything I do now is Drag Race related. Obviously not on the channel, but like everything I watch pretty much that isn't trying to catch up with The Flash at the moment. That seems to be the only show that's still ongoing really. Yeah, that's my new favourite TV show. So, movies. I have 3 categories of movies. The first one has 3 movies in it. Absolute like brain fart there. So the first category is superhero movies, and the first one I'm going to talk about is Wonder Woman, and this again is DC. Again, I've just said I like 2 things DC. I don't normally like DC. I haven't liked them till like the last year, because I don't know, I don't like Batman. I still don't like Batman. I still don't like Superman. Those 2 are like my least favourite heroes. I just find them really boring, sorry. And so I didn't think I was gonna, I thought like it looked okay, and Phil really wanted to go, so I went, but then I ended up really getting into it. And this is obviously, this film is the origin story of Diana, who is an Amazonian who ends up going to Earth, and obviously she becomes the Wonder Woman that we all know. I mean, and obviously, you know, she goes and saves the day because it's a superhero film. Take that as you will. I did see the Justice League movie as well because it had her in it and she was the best thing in it, but Yeah, I still don't like Batman or Superman. So, yeah, moving on from that. The next one is a very recent one as well, and that is Black Panther. And if you saw me do my review of Civil War, you know that one of the characters that I was obsessed with was Black Panther, and I found him to be really fascinating, and his movie did not let me down. I was so excited for it ever since pretty much I saw that Civil War movie. Yeah, I loved Black Panther. It was so new and refreshing and different because it was a Marvel movie that explored a whole new culture, a whole new country, and a lot of women were at the forefront as well, and it was just really, like, amazing. I mean, I can't praise it enough. This is the story of T'Challa, who is the king of Wakanda, and he is also the Black Panther, and that's basically the person who protects the country. And obviously, you know, it's a superhero film, so, you know, saving the day happens and whatnot. Don't want to spoil too much, but go and see Black Panther. If you've not fully caught up with the Marvel Universe, this is one of the ones you need to catch up on because it's amazing. If you haven't seen Civil War, watch that first though, just so you get his full backstory. But it is still kind of an origin film too. And then the third superhero movie I'm going to talk about is one that I've spoke about I think several times before, and I'm still obsessed with it, and that is AntMan. And this is the story of Scott, who, I don't think I'm spoiling it too much when I say this, but Scott then learns from the original Ant-Man, Hank, how to be the new Ant-Man, and so he's doing all that stuff, you know, superheroes. But it's just so funny, and the sense of humour really got me. And if you know anything about me, if it's funny and there's a sense of humour in there, I'm gonna like it. And I tend to like more fun, light-hearted things than the serious side. Like Black Panther and Wonder Woman are probably like the most serious I get, really. Yeah, anyways, but I really like Ant-Man, and it really just makes me laugh. I was absolutely like howling away in the middle of the cinema watching this film, and I just can't wait for the sequel. I'm hoping it'll live up to the high expectations that I have. A little bit scared though. I don't think I've got too long left on it, but so yeah, they're my favourite superhero films at the moment. Then I have two like true story films that I want to talk about. They are true, but obviously they get fictionalised a bit for movies. So the first one is The Big Sick, and this follows Kumail, who is a person of Pakistani descent, and his family are still very traditional, and he ends up falling in love with a American lady, and she gets very sick, and he has to kind of like look after her parents through it all. And it's just the most charming film you've ever seen. Like, when we were leaving the cinema, because this was a film that, from the trailers, I was like, we're going to the cinema to see this, right? And it was just so charming, so sweet, and I just couldn't stop saying the word charming when we came out from the cinema. And I'm really glad that we went to see it, and obviously then I ended up buying it because I loved it. So yes, it's a very sweet, like, rom-com, I guess is the best way to say it. It's like a true to life rom-com, and it's just watch it. It's absolutely endearing, and it'll make you feel all happy on the inside, I promise. And then the next true to life story is a film that I would not shut up about for ages. It must have been from the second I saw the trailer, and then like a full year. Like, I just constantly kept saying Hidden Figures. I love Hidden Figures so much. This is one of my all-time favourites now. And this is the story of Catherine, Mary and Dorothy, who are three African-American ladies, and they are working for NASA, and it's set in the, oh my goodness, is it the 60s? Yeah, it's in the 60s, a space race. It's set around the space race, and obviously this is a time when being someone of colour, you know, not being white, was like you were below the white people. And so not only did they have the race struggle to go through, they had the struggle of being a woman as well to go through, and yet they were still three vital parts of getting a man on the moon. And it's got so much charm and heart, and it's funny and endearing whilst also very serious, and so like you really just go on the emotional roller coaster with the characters, and I love this film. I can't tell you enough how much I love this film. I was like, every Oscar, hidden nominations, what? Hidden Figures! Every nomination should have been Hidden Figures. And I was just obsessed. I can't stop telling you how obsessed I was. Every time I could mention it, I did. And I'm pretty sure Phil got sick of me talking about it, but I still spoke about it. And when it came out, I got it straight away, and I was like, are we watching Hidden Figures? Are we watching Hidden Figures? So, yeah, I really like this film, and it's amazing. Really, like, strong, powerful women. That's what we need, and that's what I like. I mean, I like Symphonic Male, of course, I like strong, powerful women. Anyways, yeah, so moving on to the last category, and that is musicals. Now, only one of these is actually a new development, but in my first favourite movies, I didn't mention this, because I watched it back to make sure I wasn't mentioning any of the same films. And I don't know why, because I've always been obsessed with this film. I must have just had like some sort of brain freeze and forgotten about it, so it actually should have been in there, and it is still one of my all-time favourite movies, and that is Hairspray. I love Hairspray. I actually love Hairspray more than the other film, but I feel like I need to mention that first because I should have spoke about it 3 years ago. And this is the story of a girl named Tracy who is somewhat curvaceous. You know, she's considered to be fat and overweight. Well, overweight I guess isn't really one of them, but whatever. Anyway, she's a big girl, and she wants to be a dancer. She wants to be a star. That's what she wants in life. And there is like a TV show where she lives, where the kids in her school get to be on the TV show, and so that's like her favourite thing, and she wants to be it so much. And so that's like Tracy's plotline. But there's a lot of like the race issue again. It's set in the 60s, and it explores a lot about being different and why that's okay. And it's just a really good feel-good film. I've seen it live, and I'm going to see it live again because I love Hairspray. I can't believe I didn't mention it. The songs are amazing. My favourite song is Run and Tell That. That is my favourite song in that film. I love Seaweed. He is amazing. He might be my favourite character in the film. Anyways, yeah, I really love Hairspray, and actually one of the first like days that me and Phil just randomly spent hanging around together, it came on TV. And he didn't know what it was, and I was just sat there like singing Good Morning Baltimore, like fully freshing around in his room. So I broke him in quickly as to how crazy I am, I guess, about these things. And yeah, I just love it. It's something that can make you so happy, instantly smile. Good movie to get you in a good mood. It'll cheer you up. Watch Hairspray. Yeah. So anyways, next and the last movie I'm going to talk about is one that I saw live recently, if you saw my London vlog, and that is Dreamgirls. I love the movie Dreamgirls. I obviously, and then I've seen it live and I love the live show too, but we're talking about movies here. So yeah, this is the story of the Dreams, Supremes, and we follow the original band members, who are Effie, Dina and Laurel, and they are a girl group who go through obviously some struggles, and they've got to they're trying to get famous, and people are gonna come and mess things up, and I don't want to spoil Dreamgirls because you need to see Dreamgirls. It's amazing. Again, amazing songs. If you like Drag Race, this is a weird thing, but like one of the best lip syncs in Drag Race is And I'm Telling You I'm Not Going Nowhere. Watch the version from the film. Jennifer Hudson is the character that does it in the film. It's the actress that does it in the film. Oh god, I'm all over the place talking about this, but wow, there's a reason she won an Oscar for that performance, and it annoys me that people, well, not just people, that everyone billed it as Beyonce being the main character. No. That annoys me. Don't get me wrong, Beyonce's amazing in it, and I love Destiny's Child, but she's not the main one. And bonus, it stars Anika Noni Rose, who is Tiana, as Laurel, the other one of the Dreams. So yes, another person who I love and know can sing amazingly. It's just got really good, like, Dreamgirls is a musical where if you want to listen to amazing singing, that is for you, while still having a fun time. And obviously it's got some serious moments in there, but it's very fun and very serious in a perfect mixture of it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I love musicals, you may have noticed this. That's why I like Disney, I guess, so much as well, because it's like musicals for kids. But yeah, anyways, so there's a little catch up and a bit of fun. Talk to me about it. Which films do you like? Do you think I should watch a certain film because I've said I like these ones, or watch certain TV shows or something? Recommend, or tell me what you think. If you want to talk to me about Drag Race, that would be amazing, because I don't shut up about it, so it'd be nice to have another outlet for it. So yeah, let's have a chat, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!